Hey guys, it's that Dividend guy coming at you with another Robinhood portfolio update. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully everybody's having a GGD, a great green day in the market. You know I always wish the best for my viewers and subscribers. Sorry about not recording yesterday, guys. I had a family thing come up, so took up most of my day. But I want to get back at it today. So we're going to go over the overall portfolio, my performance, and then my buying power, the dividends I'm getting in this week, and then of course the watch list and the performance of the individual companies. So jumping right in, today we are down around $130. For the week we are down $780. The 1 month mark we're down 1,300, down about 2.5%. 3 month mark we're down 1,200, down to about 2.5%. Year to date, we are down $1,100 or down 2.3%, it looks like. So year to date, we're still down, but it's not huge. It's a small fluctuation, guys, so I'm not worried about it. Keep in mind, guys, we're only 3 months in, so we're not even that far into the year yet. So and of course, there's been a lot of market fluctuation as of late, so I'm not surprised to see that we're down year to date. But let's take a look for the overall year. We are down 1,300, down 2.65%. So we're about the same at the three-month, year-to-date, and 1 year mark. And then all time, we are up $13,989.68, or up nearly 40%. So long term, guys, we're doing phenomenal. We have buying power of $25.73. Then jumping into the portfolio, Realty income starting it off, we've got 142 shares, $8,900 of market value, average cost $67.15. Around 18% of the portfolio is in realty income. Today we are down $57. Total we're down $614, down almost 7%, 6.5% to 7%. Dividend coming in this week of $36.14. So I'll be adding that to my $25 and have about 50. But then T. Rowe Price will pay us near the end of the month, and that's when I will reallocate that capital and put it into the best deal at that time. Next, we've got Coca-Cola. 10 shares. I want to see another zero behind that. $600 worth of market value. Average cost is right around $61 a share. 1.21% of the portfolio is in Coca-Cola. Today we are up almost $2, right around $2. Total we're down $6, down 1% on Coca-Cola. Like I said, guys, main goal of the portfolio this year is to get to 100 shares, so I will keep adding to it once I start my job on Monday. Then we've got Altria, 315 shares, $14,700 of market value. Average cost is right around $47.40. Then 29.7% of the portfolio is in Altria. Today we're down $3 total. We're down $191, down 1.3%. A little bit of a cost on average opportunity here, but again, I'm more focused on Coca-Cola. But if Altria drops to like $45 a share, I will be jumping in and allocating more capital to that position. Next, we've got Apple, one of my favorite companies on the entire market. We've only got one share. I just bought it with dividends when I had extra cash. $152.29 is the market value, so whatever the price is, that is what our market value will be because we only have one share. Average cost is $132.66. 0.31% of the portfolio is in Apple. Today we're down 32 cents. Total, we are up $19, up almost 15% on this position. Want to add more, but it is up. But honestly, I'd buy it near the 150 range, even though it would bump up my average cost. I do want to wait and be patient and buy it below, but I love Apple and I want more in the portfolio. Next, we've got AbbVie. So crazy thing is, Apple and AbbVie are right around the same amount. So keep in mind, Apple makes a buttload more money than AbbVie does. So if you look at it that way, Apple's still technically a deal because it makes more money than AbbVie. But I have 95 shares of this pharma company, $14,626.20 right now of market value. Average cost is right around $95.20. Around 30% of the portfolio is in AbbVie. Today we're up $12. Total we're $5,500, up over 60% on this position. So guys, that's just like I said with Apple. I'm up big. and AbbVie is no different. This month just seems to be the month that doesn't want to be added to. So I would love to add more cash to this position, obviously. But at these current prices for both of these stocks, I want to wait. Just because I want to cost on average. I don't want to lower my yield. So the thing is with dividend stocks, if you buy at a lower price, you get this. So like, let's say AbbVie right now pays, I don't know, let's say it pays $1. I know it pays more than that, but let's say it pays $1 and I pay $150 for it. Well, let's say I pay $80 or let's say $90 for it. Then I have like a 3% yield. If I buy it now at $150, I'm going to have like a 1.2% yield. So like I pay more to make the same amount of money. So like I paid less. I paid $95 to make like $1. Now I'd be paying $154 a share to make $1.41. So overall, I'm paying more money for AbbVie to pay me the same amount, or it's actually paying more because the dividend went up, but I'm getting less in return for more money. So think of it like this. So with dividend stocks, if you buy higher prices, if you average up on your cost basis, you're working more hours for the same amount of money. So if you get at the end of your 8-hour shift, say you make $100, let's say the next day they're like, oh, well, we're going to pay you $50 or $65 for 8 hours. And you're like, I got paid $100 yesterday. You probably would look for another job, or you wouldn't want to put more time into a job that's not going to pay you for, the right amount for your time. That's a good way to look at it with dividend stocks is you're putting more hours of work into a company, but you're paying more for the same amount. So you're putting in more hours of labor, but that payoff isn't as high because the yield is lower. But that's just how I look at it. So currently, I don't want to put more hours in to make less money with Apple, and I don't want to put in a lot more hours to make less money with AbbVie. Still love the companies. I just want to average down so my cost basis is lower, so I have more upside and get paid more dividends for less money added. Then we got T. Rowe Price sitting close to $107 a share. 100 shares, so this is exactly where I want Coca-Cola to be. $10,700 of market value. Average cost is right around $122 a share. 22% of the portfolio, or 21.5% of the portfolio is in T. Rowe Price. Today we're up $40 total. We're down almost $1,500, down 12%. Not worried about it, guys. I know banks are getting slaughtered, which means usually when banks go down, everything financial goes down. So I'm not surprised to see down 10% in a month, down 6 or 5%, about 6% in a week. So I know T. Rowe Price is going to get slaughtered. So this is a great cost on average opportunity for one of my favorite stocks. So I will be adding more to T. Rowe Price as I can, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see, since that the Silicon Bank is closing or is being overtaken by the government and being repositioned and whatnot, I would not be surprised to see stuff like MasterCard, Visa, Discover, even stuff like Fidelity go down. Anything like insurance companies as well, anything that has like an investment arm that might be dependent on banks for loans as well, they're going to be going down. So it's honestly, it's a blessing, because when something like that happens, it affects more than just that sector. So like they're even within that sector, I've looked at banks like JP Morgan Chase. They're operating on a huge gain right now. They didn't make that same mistake, but they're being punished like they did. Same with like Bank of America or US Bank. I've looked at them as well. The other one that I was extremely happy about was M&T Bank. I think they are run phenomenally well. I'm surprised Buffett right now is selling out of banks. I'm going to do a video on that later on today. But just the fact that it's widespread panic and people aren't thinking, they're just selling out of any financial stocks. And I think a lot of that selling is actually hedge funds. Because guys, keep in mind, if I sell out of these 100 shares at T. Rowe Price, I ain't going to do anything for the stock. Like, it's not going to fluctuate based upon little old me. It's the hedge funds that have millions or billions of money, billions of funds in these companies that are saying, nope, banks are doing bad, we're switching out. Because keep in mind, most of the time, it's messed up, but hedge funds usually have a 1 to 2 year investing time horizon. So if it looks bad for banks now, they're getting out regardless of the upside potential. So they're not going to add more to that position, because that would be the smart thing to do. They sell out at a loss and put it into something like, say, Apple, Microsoft, whatever, that they think is going to do well in the next 1 to 2 years. So this massive sell-off that we're seeing, it's going to hurt in the short term because, of course, all stock prices are going to go down. So our overall portfolios are going to be red, which is fine. That's a good thing. But if you are a long-term investor, if I look right here, it says my average cost is $122 on here, right? So why would I not jump at the opportunity to buy it at 107? If I like it at 122, I love it at 107, right? And if it goes even below that, I'm gonna love it even more at that price. So that's like, so guys, it's just it's the inverse of Apple and AbbVie for me. If I love Apple at 132 and it drops to 100, I'm buying it like it's crack. I mean, I wish AbbVie would drop down below my average cost of like $96, 95, $96. I would allocate more capital. So if you like the company and it drops, like I said, think of it like your job. If I liked T. Rowe Price at 122, and I put in the hours and say I'm getting a 3% yield and I'm getting $1.22 per share. If I buy it at 106, then instead of a 3.2% yield, I'm getting like a 3.8 or 3.9% yield and getting $1.22 for $1.09 or $1.07, right? $107. So I put in less money to make more money. And the thing is as well, guys, I get a higher upside on the stock. That's something that a lot of people don't look at. So the 52-week high is 160. So from here, you have a $54 upside. So before, when I bought it at 120, I had like a $30 upside. From here, you have like a $54 upside per share, a $58 upside per share, plus that dividend. So you're putting in less money to make more money. You have a higher upside. So the way I explained it to like my roommate or people who ask is think of this as like a platform that you have to jump off of, right? Would you rather jump off at 154 and have, say you're 150, say you're at 200 feet, right? And you jump off at, you can either jump off at 150 feet, at 120 feet, or 106 feet. Probably going to choose 106 feet. So that's probably where you want to. So the further you have more to fall, the better the price is going to be and the better overall return is going to be. You don't want to jump off higher. That's going to hurt worse. So that's kind of how you should think about it is when gravity pulls you down more, you should put more money in. So right now, if I had funds to allocate, I would be pouring money into T. Rowe Price because it's down significantly, and by putting more money in, I would lower this cost basis, which then gives me more upside potential, because before I only had $30 of upside, right? Now I'd have about $58 of upside just based on 52-week high, plus that yield that I would lock in right now. Let's take a look. It's a 4.5% yield. So say I had like a 4% yield. Now I got 0.5 or say I had a 3.8% yield. I get like 7 percentage 7 percentage points on that yield. So guys, this would be excuse me, still got a cough. But this would be a killer time to jump in for me because that average cost is so low. So if I had an opportunity, if T. Rowe Price and AbbVie switch places, I'd be putting money into AbbVie, I'd be putting money into Apple. So if there's a crisis coming, which I don't do market predictions, but say the banking sector drops, which we've seen, so banking drops and everything gets slaughtered, that's in the financial sector, and you own T. Rowe Price, you own Visa, MasterCard, whatever, and you're down 25% on that stock, buy more. Buy low, sell high. If you buy high and sell low, you got further to fall and you're just losing money. Gravity loves to pull you down, right? Stocks too. So you should try to jump off of a lower platform because it's going to hurt a lot less. You're going to, there's a lot more upside potential. So jumping into the watch list, we've got Visa, which I'm not surprised to see they're down a bit, but not as bad as I thought they were going to be. Only down 2%. So T. Rowe Price is down 10%, and banks are down 20 to 30%. Visa, I think, is a little bit more insulated when it comes to that because they are kind of the middleman of transactions. They aren't linked to a bank specifically. They are more related to the overall sector. So they are going to get hit a little bit, but they're not going to be, I don't think they're going to be as bad as everything else. Now, I wish that they would drop down to like that 180 mark or even $200 mark because that's where I want to buy them at. Because right now at 216, their upside is like, say, $34. I want it down to like 180 to 190, and that would be a massive, almost 70 to $80 upside. So plus that high growth dividend. So I definitely want to wait more on Visa, and I got to be patient. So Visa is in the same spot for me as AbbVie and Apple, which is fine. But Also, guys, I don't do market predictions, but I personally am gonna wait on Visa because it's not at the cost I want to buy it at. But I want to be able to save up some cash, so that when it is, I can pour money into it like I did with AbbVie. So that's the goal with Visa. Next, we've got Berkshire Hathaway sitting pretty below $300, which is awesome because the 52-week high is 360. So you have like a $60 plus upside with Berkshire, but you don't get a dividend. But I am going to the Berkshire Annual Hathaway meeting, and if I get to ask a question, I'm going to be asking, why are you selling stocks like McKesson and Kroger? Like, what changed in those companies? And he's actually selling out of a shit ton of banks right now too. He also sold out of a bunch of his Chevron stock. It was like the third or fourth biggest position, and now it's barely in the top like 7 or 8, I believe. So he's been selling a lot of market securities, and I'm interested to see why he would be selling. But guys, at this price, I definitely would be buying. I wanted it around $300. So obviously Berkshire's having a rough day. Looks like it's down 2.5% today, but overall, I'm not worried about Berkshire. I love the insurance float. And that's the other thing too, guys. If the financial sector gets hit, Berkshire is probably gonna be hit too. The issue with Berkshire though is unlike banks and other insurance companies that only have that one arm, they are so diversified. It's hard to get them at a discount because they have like a brick company, a paint company, a coatings company, a flight simulator company. Like they have a clothing company, they have Dairy Queen, like they have all Coca-Cola, they have Apple, like so they have all these different arms. So like they're so diversified that one sector isn't going to jostle them as much as it would if they were a single company. They're a conglomerate, so they have a bunch of different arms. But if there was a sector that I believe would kind of shake them up or make them drop, it's financials, because they're big. Their overarching umbrella when it comes to making money is their insurance business, because they write really good insurance and they usually have a profit, which means that they make money with writing insurance. So they'll make a profit on each individual policy that they sell, and then the excess that they have, so the premiums that they make from that sale of insurance, they can invest, and that's where they make the majority of their money. That's where they get the billions and billions of dollars, because their underwriting is usually positive, which means they get free money. Or if they have if they break even, then they didn't make any money on insurance. But generally they make money. Like I think the last 20 years they've made money in like 17 of them. So they make money on their insurance, and then that float, which is the free money they're given for the premiums, they invest it at a high rate. So they find places to put that money that makes them more money, and then it compounds. So, but if there was a sector that was going to hurt Berkshire, it's financial, specifically because their big overarching business is that insurance. So hopefully, like I said, I don't know how jostled it's going to get, because as we saw with Visa, it wasn't that bad. Today, they're down 2.5%, which is not nearly as bad as some of the banks, but it's good to see. So I definitely will be buying here, and I'm going to the Berkshire meeting. So, excuse me. Sorry, guys. Told you I still got a cough. But guys, let me know down in the comments below, what stock are you cost on averaging? Is there a stock in your portfolio that's down massively? If it is, let me know. I plan on recording tomorrow. I do have my first day. It's like orientation, so the video might be a little late, or I might have to skip tomorrow or Friday. It just kind of depends on the timing of the video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to hit the subscribe button and like this video, but hit the subscribe button on my channel, That Dividend Guy. Guys, it really does help. I've been gaining subscribers every single day, and it does help motivate me to keep doing these videos. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with another Robinhood portfolio update. Take care, guys.